My brother, I've been thinking about something. We've talked about this. Let's give the people more. Oh, they're gonna f it up.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today we begin a new week of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movies, and today's film is from 2013, Snitch, starring Dwayne Johnson, Barry Pepper, Benjamin Bratt, Susan Sarandon, John Bernthal, and David Harbour. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And as I said during the introduction, we begin a brand new week this week of Dwayne Johnson movies, The Rock movies. And today we're going to take a look at 2013's Snitch. Now, as our film opens, we meet Jason Collins, a college student who is persuaded to allow his friend Craig to ship drugs to his house. Jason signs for the package, which includes pills and a tracking device. DEA officers then break into the house, causing Jason to flee, but he is chased down and arrested by Agent Cooper. Meanwhile, back at a barbecue, John Matthews, Jason's estranged father and the owner of a construction company, is called by his ex-wife, Sylvie, Jason's mother, regarding Jason's arrest. John and Sylvie then meet with an investigator who says that Craig set Jason up in order to reduce his own sentence. Jason's charges carry a minimum sentence of 10 years in prison, and Jason is pressured to inform on one of his own friends in order to reduce his own sentence. Using his own connections, John arranges to meet with the local United States Attorney, Joanne Keegan, who is running a very aggressive anti-drug campaign. Now, Keegan agrees to reduce Jason's sentence if John can inform on a major drug dealer. Now, Agent Cooper leads the task force, which will monitor any dealings that John arranges in order to be able to use them as evidence for an arrest. John searches through his employee records and discovers that Daniel James, a brand new employee, has 2 prior convictions. Daniel is currently leading a clean life, and he's attempting to keep it that way in order to avoid a 3rd strike. John offers Daniel $20,000 if he will simply introduce John to a dealer. Begrudgingly, Daniel agrees, unaware that John is acting as an informant. Daniel ends up introducing John to Malik, an extremely dangerous, high-ranking local drug dealer who also has 2 strikes. John explains to Malik that his construction business simply can't stay afloat in the current economy without a supplement to its revenues. John then offers to run nearly limitless amounts of drugs at virtually 0 risk by using his company's freight trucks. Malik agrees under the condition that John and Daniel drive the initial run themselves. John and Agent Cooper then arrange for several wiretaps. However, when John and Daniel drive to the pickup point near the Mexican border, a rival gang ambushes the pickup. John is able to escape, which impresses Juan Carlos Pintera, known as El Topo, whose men fight off the hijackers. John is then able to make the deal, delivering the drugs to Malik while under surveillance by Agent Cooper. Malik mentions a meeting with cartel members that are higher than himself. Now, having heard this, Agent Cooper, now hoping to catch an even higher priority target, doesn't move in to make the arrest on Malik as previously agreed upon. Keegan claims that Agent Cooper did the right thing, much to John's chagrin, and states that she'll renege on her promise to reduce Jason's sentence unless John cooperates in the second meeting. Now, John obviously is outraged by this and demands that Jason be released immediately once the job is completed. Daniel learns of John's arrangement with the DEA and becomes furious, warning John that the cartel will kill them both, as well as their families, if they learn the truth. As a result, John and Daniel both send their families into hiding. Now, John gets to meet with Pintera, who wants him to run nearly $100 million worth of drug profits to Mexico, and offers to make John a member of the cartel's inner circle if he can succeed. Now, Keegan relishes the prospect of arresting such a high-profile dealer. However, Agent Cooper has a change of heart. See, he tries to talk John out of doing the run, as he suspects that the cartel will kill him afterwards. John then devises a plan to free himself and Daniel from both the government and the cartel. And during the run, John is able to escape Agent Cooper's surveillance. Now, at the same time, Daniel raids Malik's house, killing his guards and mortally wounding Malik. And before dying, Malik reveals Pintera's cell phone number to Daniel. John calls Agent Cooper in order to have him track both his new phone as well as Pantera's phone, effectively giving Agent Cooper both the money and the kingpin all at once. This causes the cartel to realize that John is in fact an informant, which begins a highway chase and a shootout before John is able to escape. As our movie ends, the cartel members and the money are seized by Agent Cooper as well as his men. Pantera is surrounded by federal agents and is forced to surrender since his young son is with him in the vehicle. Jason is released as promised, while John and his family go into witness protection. Daniel is then left with the large federal rewards check for the capture of Pantera by John. This was a really fun action, drama, thrill chase type of film. Some of that stuff that we talked about in the beginning, how we didn't want to see The Rock end up getting pigeonholed into, but as a professional wrestler turned actor, action movies are going to be your wheelhouse. That's what you're going to be your bread and butter. That's what you're going to keep coming back to. You can do your comedy films, you can do your family films, you can do your dramas, but you're going to constantly come back to the action because that's what your die-hard fans are going to expect from you. They're going to expect to see The Rock kick ass, like he did from his debut at Survivor Series 96 until he left us at WrestleMania 2004. Yeah, there were a couple departures in between to go film movies, but that was pretty much his entire run. Survivor Series 96, Mania 04. We saw him kick ass over that essentially 8-year span. So that's what people expect in his movies. This film delivered on all fronts, man. Jon Bernthal, who would go on to play the Punisher on the Netflix series, he wasn't there yet here, playing Daniel, the man with two strikes who assists The Rock in trying to set up Malik and everything. Did an amazing job. You can see why his star began to shine so well. Susan Sarandon, Barry Pepper, Benjamin Bratt, David Harbour, who would go on to do Stranger Things. Such a great cast here. And this time, it wasn't this hugely all-star cast that The Rock was learning from. I mean, you had Susan Sarandon, of course, but The Rock almost is kind of starting to step up now as this figure who's been in movies for a decade at this point as a leading man. You know, you can see that he's starting to help guys like Jon Bernthal along the way. It's really cool to see how the phase in his career is starting to turn that page in the next chapter and he's starting to help people. You know, I'd never really heard of David Harbour before Stranger Things. So if he had a major career, don't know anything about it. So here he is with Dwayne prior to Stranger Things success. Barry Pepper. Uh, Again, I know the name Barry Pepper. I had known he had done a few movies in the past. I want to say he was in a film called Knockaround Guys with Vin Diesel that I saw when it came out. But other than that, I don't know a whole lot about Barry Pepper. Here's Barry Pepper and The Rock. So just a really nice meeting of generations, you know, people that have had major successful careers, people that maybe have been struggling for a while, and people that were on the rise. All kind of commingling and merging in this flick. As far as the story goes, it wasn't anything too complex. It was pretty simple, nice and easy, formulaic film. It didn't need to be Citizen Kane, though. It didn't need to be some over convoluted, nice and easy. Stay in your lane, do the safe action movie, get on to the next film. And it's with that in mind that although I did enjoy this, I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 stars. I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed some of the other ones, but it was definitely an entertaining flick. This was the first time I seen it, but it just, I don't know what the repeat watchability is going to be for me as far as this one goes. What do you guys think? Let me know. Let's have that conversation in the comments like I'm always asking for. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. But let's engage that conversation. What do you guys think of Snitch? Let me know. Make sure you guys tune back in on Wednesday, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, when we take a look at Dwayne Johnson alongside Mark Wahlberg in Pain and Gain, starring, as I mentioned, Mark Wahlberg, Dwayne Johnson, Anthony Mackie, Tony Shalhoub, Ed Harris, Rebel Wilson, Ken Jeong, Rob Corddry, and Bar Polly. You're not going to want to miss out on that one when you tune in on Wednesday, right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel, right here to another all new edition of Renegades Reviews. Thank you to all my loyal fans, viewers, and supporters out there tuning in on a regular basis, helping me to get those views. Share these videos with your friends. Share these videos with other movie lovers. Like them so that we can try to generate their visibility a little bit more in the algorithm. It'll do a lot to helping me get noticed. Thank you again, and I will see you guys next time.